What's happening, team? Tyler here, coming to you live on this Friday evening. It's 5 p.m. here in Atlanta. And I wanted to talk to you all about scaling your life up and down. Because let's face it, it's never just going to be one constant, uphill battle, and it's never going to be one downhill slope. So, how can we take advantage of the lives that we are living through nutrition, through mental health, and through fitness? And in some cases, you dial one notch way up, and in others, you dial two of them back down. I know for myself, over the past year, my mental health has probably been about here. And, nutrition and fitness were up here. And then over the course of the summer, with me going to therapy, working on myself, doing things a little differently, I was able to bring my mental health up and my nutrition up, but then my fitness went way back down. So it's one of those, okay, so how do we go about managing the waves of life? Because they're going to happen. Life is going to happen. It's inevitable. It's not anything that any of us are really that shocked by. Life is going to happen. And so when life does happen, how are you going to respond? How are you going to react? How are you going to act when the inevitable happens? Every day is not going to be a 10 out of 10, and every day is not going to be a 1 out of 10. So how do we manage those days in the middle? How do we develop what I'm calling mindset mobility? How do I ride this wave of excitement and a high? And how do I also curtail this low and this ebb of, the slugging through it? Maybe you have your ways of going about it. I just want to share a couple of mine. For instance, when my fitness is down, I really make sure I prioritize my sleep. I try and stress less. I try to breathe more. I try to really focus in on, okay, what do I actually have control over? My knees bothering me, or my hips bothering me, or my shoulders bothering me. Okay, so if fitness is down, how can I still go after my goals, my own specific goals, without, talking down to myself? How can I still get after what I need to get after without making sacrifices that just aren't necessary? I don't need to get up at 4 or 5 a.m. I mean, I do because of my work, but it doesn't mean that I need to get up that much earlier to then go to the gym and not be able to work out. I need to make sure that I can manage what's happening in my life while also honoring what my body needs. And in some cases, I like to say eat for a lifetime. I don't believe in dieting, but at times you will need to really dial up the nutrition dial. I mean, if you want to lose weight more rapidly or more quickly, you're going to have to dial that notch up. If you want to get better at running or biking or lifting weights, you're going to have to dial up that fitness dial. Now, that doesn't mean it has to stay there all the time, but it does mean that you will need to bring it up a little bit. And again, it's all about managing, in my opinion, our own expectations. We're so used to Amazon Prime 2-day shipping. The minute we don't get it, it's like, yo, what? It's been 2 days. Where are my abs? Where's that kitchen that makes abs? Like, why don't I have this yet? And so it's something that really I would encourage you to just try and build into, the lifestyle, the bucking fit life. And with that in mind, it allows us to have a little more grace, a little more compassion on, oh, hey, I wasn't able to do this before, but now I can. That's awesome. So how can I go from here? Okay, so I did this once. Maybe I can do it twice next time. Maybe I can do it 3 times next time. And when we can start seeing those more tangible, actionable, manageable results, it's like, oh, whoa, this is so cool, because weight loss is going to do this. Fat loss is going to do this. But how can we keep going? How can we keep growing and wanting to stay on that track if we aren't getting that scale number to be more consistent with what our expectations are? And that's where I made the post today about, let's really look at what also can lead to weight loss, whether it's a healthier lifestyle, being more active, getting stronger, moving more. What were the other ones? Eating more whole foods, building muscle, building your endurance capacity. All those things can lead to weight loss, but through the course of your lifetime, it should be about health gain, not about weight loss. And where on one hand, you don't want to add more to your plate, you do want to do less better. And so when you can just focus in on, hey, if I just think about, okay, with nutrition, this week, I just really want to touch base with my foods. I've been really struggling. I've been eating more peanut butter a lot lately. So, I really want to dial in like my relationship with peanut butter. That is a true story for myself. I used to not be able to buy peanut butter because every time I bought peanut butter, I would put the groceries away and I would see the peanut butter just taunting me. And it would just be looking at me, making those googly eyes with that good peanut buttery taste. And I'm just like, all right, I got to put the bananas away. But like that peanut butter keeps looking at me. So like I would take a spoon and just spoon feed myself peanut butter. And that jar, the entire pound of peanut butter would be gone before I was done unpacking groceries. Like that's not a healthy relationship. And I had to cut it out. I had to stop dating that food for a while. And now I can have it in the house without even thinking about it because I went in and worked on the root cause of it, my relationship with it. I felt like that was something that earlier when I was growing up, I had a horrible relationship with food, and it was something that I really needed to work on as I went through my weight loss journey. A lot of people see me today with where I'm at, but I used to weigh over 200 pounds. I used to have horrible relationship with food. It's been a long journey, but now I want to help others do it more manageably at a much healthier rate, but also mentally. I thought once I had abs, like I'd be happy, and I can guarantee you that didn't happen. And so it's like shifting that focus. Okay, what can I actually control? What can I actually focus in on? Am I getting stronger? Yes, awesome. Am I able to walk up the stairs and not be out of breath? Yes, awesome. Am I able to go to bed at night and get some good sleep and not worry about like when the next time I'm going to eat is? Yeah, awesome. Like those are all tangible things that you can look at and implement into your lives and make it easier for yourself, because it shouldn't be as hard as the world has made it out to be. I got a thing in the mail the other day about burning fat while you sleep. It's like, well, that's not really how that works. I mean, it's over time. You don't just, you take this product and, detox teas don't work. Fat burners don't work. They're essentially all they are appetite suppressants. They claim to do things that they don't do, and you're just wasting money. So please don't do those. Or please don't buy those. And if you want to, that's your call. I would just encourage you to not waste money. That's all. Gravy also would encourage you to not waste money. He came in right there. He's like, yo, don't waste money. And so, one of the things that I focused on as fitness, I work out maybe 2 days a week now, just because my bandwidth, I don't have the time for it. I'm training about 40-ish clients. I'm on my feet for 6.5 to 7 hours every day. I get one day off. I'm working like 6 hours or 6 days a week. And so for my fitness dial, I had to dial that way back because I couldn't manage it. Like all of the external energy and socializing and very extroverted sense, when I am I'm very much an introvert. But with that extroversion, it's just a lot, and I need time to recharge and recoup. And I don't have time to continue working out for 30 minutes to an hour. And so it's one of those, hey, how do I scale up nutrition and mental health and scale back fitness? Or sometimes maybe you need to scale all of them up. Sometimes maybe you need to scale all of them back. Anyone who's not an elite level athlete doesn't need to be working out twice a day. You just don't. It's not worth it. You're not allowing your body to recover unless it's something where you're lifting weights in the morning and maybe doing cardio in the evening. If your goal is to build muscle, great. If your goal is to want to get better at running, but you also know that strength training is incredibly important for you, because it is, maybe run in the morning and then lift in the afternoon. But at the end of the day, if you do not recover, you will not get the results you're looking for. You just can't. When pants like split and you have to sew it back together, stitch it back together, that's essentially what your muscle fibers are doing every time that you work out. So when you work and it's like, oh, I got that burn, you get the ache, your muscle fibers are tearing, and they have to recover and recharge and replenish and reform to be stronger, so that the next time you do said exercise or said thing or a variant of it, you can do it better, faster, stronger, whatever it is based on your goals. Now, understand, it doesn't just happen overnight, though. It's over a period of time, and that's why for my clients, I love working with them in monthly installments. But honestly, you may not see the results that you personally are looking for about 3 weeks, or I'm sorry, 3 months, but 3 months worth of 4 weeks at a time consistency. The more consistent you can be, more likely, the better your results, especially when you have a coach that's good at programming, knowing when to really stress the body and when to not stress the body as much. Because you also have to understand, every workout shouldn't be a 10 out of 10. You don't want to be in a pool of sweat and exhausted lying on your back after every single workout. It's too much for the body to handle. Because also think, okay, you just got out of a 10-hour workday, or maybe you have a 10-hour work day to do, but you're so exhausted from your workout, you can't even focus in on it. And now, don't get me wrong, let's get after a workout a week where you're on your back, exhausted, sweaty, just absolutely out of it. But it's about that balance of, hey, maybe today we go hit a 10 out of 10, and then the next 3 workouts should be nowhere above a 6. Or I'm sorry, nowhere above a 7 or an 8, because the body can't handle that much stress. I mean, stress is stress, whether it's emotional, financial, relational, social, environmental, mental, nutritional, fitness, physical, whatever it is, stress is stress. And if we have too much stress coming in, how are we recovering? How are we recharging? How are we able to then get the results that we're looking for if we're not allowing our bodies to recharge and recover? Okay. So when you're thinking about that, dial it up or dial it back. It's a scale. You got to work on a spectrum. It's not this or that. It's not black or white. It's not carbs or fats. All of it counts. All of it matters. And so you got to start dialing it up and dialing it back. And that might be really hard for you. So I would encourage, whether it's following somebody on YouTube, whether it's following somebody in at the gym who knows more, talk to a coach. A lot of coaches that I know, myself included, we do consultations for free, like 15, 30 minutes, maybe. I don't know. It depends on the person. But first one, generally, hey, go and talk to somebody. I had a client start today who was terrified of the gym because of past experience. And that's very, very valid. When we think about the psychological fears that the gym has made for certain people or has caused people, we as coaches have to be very compassionate and empathetic toward what they are going through, just to ask for help. Because if I have somebody coming in who is terrified of the gym because a past trainer made them vomit or faint, or they were so sore the next day they couldn't walk, why would they want to come back? Like, what? I wouldn't want to go back to a place that like made me feel weak or intimidated or you name it. But when we can empower, when we can empathize, when we can actually be able to educate and elevate people, yes, alliterations with all the E's, when we can do that, watch as the clients really just start to take off. Watch as your friends just really start to take off, because it's awesome when that light bulb hits. My parents are both teachers, and I never wanted to be a teacher, didn't want to be a teacher, still don't want to be a teacher. Being a coach is being a teacher. I'm not there to just tell people, hey, just do these push-ups and then, all right, I'll see you later. No, it's like, hey, your glenohumeral carrying angle, where your glenohumeral joint lines up because of your shoulder separation. I think what might help you most is if you bring in that elbow, push through. Hey, does that feel better? Yes. Awesome. Keep doing it. Boom. I look like a genius. Or, hey, that hurts a little bit more. Okay. Hey, what if we internally rotate? What if we externally rotate? What if we do this, that, the other? Finding out what your client needs the most and how to get them the results that they are looking for. It's very much the scientific method. You test it, you find out. Normally I swear there and say F around and find out, but going to try and keep it a little bit less cursy. But it's one of those things. So when we can dial up the intensity, if you have a client that is just crushing it, or if you are somebody who's just crushing it on your workouts and you're not sore after any workout, or it's just getting easier, awesome. Notice you're making progress. Give yourself that win. Allow yourself to be like, yo, I am killing it. Now I can add on. Now I can do more. Because if we can't knock out the day-to-day, every day, just churning it out like butter, whether it's meal prepping, whether it's self-compassion, whether it's, daily movement with walks or with squats or lunges, whatever it is. If you can't do the day-to-day, it doesn't matter how badly you want it. Wanting something, ideas about something are far less than executing on those things. And so that's where your actions become habits. Your habits become practices. Your practices become skills. Your skills become goals. Your goals become your dreams. And so when we can get in those routines, get in those patterns, and just knock it out of the park, then it's like, hey, you know what? The plate that I'm eating off of, I can add a little bit. Yeah, I can add a little bit to this. It's kind of nice. I like where I'm at. And if you're fine with where you're at, just keep killing it then. Who says you have to do more? Who says you have to do more things? For myself, the voice in the back of my head is always telling me like, hey, you need to be working more. Hey, I know you just worked for 7 hours straight on your feet, but like you could probably do more, right? You should probably be doing more. You're not ambitious enough. You're not doing enough. You, at this point in your life, you should be, at this other. Some days that voice wins. Some days it does. Just being transparent. It wins sometimes. Other days I tell it to shut up and I relax or I recharge or whatever it is. You have to do what works for you. But in order to do that, you have to try a lot of things. And so maybe you don't like push-ups, but you love dumbbell bench press. Okay. You don't have to do push-ups. You don't have to do pull-ups. You could do the lat pull-down machine, or you could do bent over rows, or you could do single arm dumbbell rows. Or there are so many other options in your exercise library that you can go to instead of the one thing that you just maybe dread or hate or just don't want to do. I have a client doesn't want to do pull-ups, isn't interested. Okay, guess what we don't do? Pull-ups. It's pretty easy. It's pretty simple. Listen to what they're saying. All right, this is what I'm hearing. Cool. Now, how can we still get you those results while also making sure that you are confident, you are safe, you are secure? Because at the end of the day, people don't want to go into a situation where they don't feel safe, where they don't feel confident, where they are a little insecure. And it's okay to start there. When I try and play the guitar, I am terrible. I am so bad. I can do a little bit, but I'm not very good. But if I keep practicing, I'll get I won't be as bad. And then maybe I'll suck a little less and then suck a little less. And eventually it's like, oh, hey, I'm not that bad. Oh, hey, I'm a little bit better. It's the same thing with that exercise. It's the same thing with developing relationships with our food. My mental health over the last, what is it, December? Oh my gosh, it's almost 2022. I'm sorry for everybody for me reminding you of that. But it's almost, January. The past year of my life, my mental health has been in the pits. But it's also the very thing that is going to forge my entire life moving forward from here. And so it's like, okay, I'm not here. I'm not where I want to be. Love you too, Unc. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm also very, very glad that I'm not where I was. And so being able to just shift that is like, okay, hey, wow, I can acknowledge, hey, I'm not where I want to be, but I can also look back and go, You know what? But I'm not where I was. And that's pretty awesome. I survived, you have survived every single day that life has thrown at you. That's amazing. And we all have those areas in which it's like, man, I can't believe that I'm able to do that now. And so, no, maybe you don't lift as much as somebody else. Maybe you don't look the way somebody else does. Maybe you don't think the way somebody else does. Maybe you are really struggling with the way that you interact with food or interact with others, or maybe you just want to play video games. That's awesome. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with doing the things that you love to do. Um, as someone who used to apologize every single time they got really excited about something, because that's what my life was, now it's like, oh my gosh, when someone says something that they're really passionate about and I hear them say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's like, no. That's amazing. That's amazing. Like, scale that up, bring that up, dial that up, because the way that people light up in their nutrition, their mental health, or their fitness, like, those are things that you just catapult on. And the biggest reason that I'm such a big believer in mental health being the foundation of all of it is your nutrition and life and your fitness are just going to change. They are. I mean, we just went through holiday season after holiday season, and we're about to go into another one. Like, oh my gosh. If you're telling me that I can't have cookies over the holiday break, you ain't invited to my Christmas. That's all I'm saying. So it's one of those things that, it's going to dial up and then it's going to dial down and then it's going to dial up and then it's going to dial down, and allow yourself to have that mobility. Allow yourself to be able to say, hey, I'm okay to have this piece of cake. I'm okay to maybe not have that piece of cake. You have to do what works for you. And just like the trees outside, they go through seasons. So do we too, as humans. Maybe this is the season of your rebirth. I know it's the season of mine. Everything that me and my team are creating with the Bucking Fit Life is just one of those things that, like, it is being built out of the ashes of everything that was what I thought I was building. And it's for the benefit of the community, for the benefit of my team, but also, most importantly, for the benefit of me. Because the better I can be, the better I can dial up certain areas of my life, then the better I'll be able to help others dial up theirs. And so, yes, you're going to need to move your body. You're going to need to eat whole foods. You're going to need to get better sleep and talk nicely to yourself. That doesn't mean it's always going to be easy. And so, those are things that you can just try to dial up a little bit. One of the things that I'm really excited about with the Bucking Fit Life journal is every day you're going to be able to go through and like scale your day, like on a scale of 1 to 10. And I encourage all of you to ask yourselves this every day. Rate your day on a scale of 1 to 10. How was it? Like, legitimately, was this a 5 out of 10, or was this like actually, this was like an 8 out of 10. This was a pretty good day. Or maybe it was a 4. Maybe it was a 2. Maybe it was a 10. My assistant got engaged 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Yeah, that was a 10 out of 10 day for her. Like, and I'm so happy for her. And hearing her share that news allowed me to have a better day, which was awesome. And so, yeah, maybe you need to feed off of other people. Maybe your cat, like my cat, Gravy, he's not in here. Dang. Maybe that's what gives you life. Maybe that's who you're doing it for. Maybe you're doing it for your kids. I'm doing everything I'm doing now so that when I'm 70 years old, I can still school my grandchildren in the front yard playing basketball. Come on, Timmy. You're going to have to, Grandpa's going to cross you up again and break them ankles if you don't, catch up. But like, that's what I'm doing this for. And so when you can figure out your why, it allows you to dial up or dial back. Right now, my big why is building the Bucking Fit Life and building it out and partnering with amazing health and wellness professionals so that all of you have better access to them. I'm in a really unique position where I can have access to some very talented individuals who have very talented track records. And it's really exciting because then not only do I get to have access to them, but then so do you. And then so do other people. And being able to have a nutrition profile, have a mental health profile, have a fitness profile. And so we're touching every pillar of health so that we can all live better lives. And sometimes you dial things up, sometimes you dial them back. There's no right way to do this. It's about giving yourself grace and compassion and knowing when to implement discipline and support. Because the harder you work, the harder your support has to be. The harder things you're going through, the more support you're going to need. It's just inevitable. Like, we weren't meant to do things alone. And as someone who has a very hard time asking for help, I need it. Whether it's through therapy, whether it's through a coach, whether it's through a mentor, whether it's through me being enough for me. Like, make sure that you can dial things up and dial things back, and also appropriately know when to do it. Good times. Good times. But hey, I've been going for 26 minutes. Cool. Team, we outie. By the way, I love this new hoodie. I just got this made. I now have like a merchandise store, so that's weird, but also cool. So like, let me know if you want one of these. They're going to be, hoodies are going to be $40, and then t-shirts are going to be $20. I'm going to have a store up hopefully by January. I got lots of work ahead of me. So your boy's going to get going to bed, and he's going to, get some good sleep, because I think I'm getting up at 6 a.m. on a Saturday, because my body's like, that's what we're used to now. That's what we're used to now. But team, thank you. Thank you for reminding me that I have a purpose and that it is selfish of me to not share what I have learned with all of you. I feel like I have a very unique viewpoint and perspective on all of this stuff. And after the journey that I have been through and I'm still continuing through, I want to help more people. So I'm back on social media. It's really weird. I'm not used to it, but we're going to do this because I miss you all. And yeah, I hope you have a phenomenal weekend. Stay safe out there, please. Drive safe and get home to your loved ones, especially your four-legged felines or canines or whatever lines. I don't know. I don't have another one there. But yeah, team, we're going to get going, and we'll see you on the next one. Next Friday. Wait, no, that's Christmas Eve. What day is it? That's Christmas Eve. I don't know when we're going to go live, but it'll be sometime next week. Maybe Thursday. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Bye. Bye, Instagram. I got to say bye to Instagram and now I'll come back. All right. Bye to the real champs in the community. What's up? Let's go. Peace.